Hello PCJews watchers! Today I'm going to be doing a guide on Nautilus, how to jungle Nautilus. This is Season 2 jungle. I know that Season 3 is on the way up, you can expect a new guide then, but if you're in a rush and you don't want to watch that new guide, here is what you'll do for Season 3. Buy the new jungle item, which will give you better attack damage, 5 health potions, max your W, or get your W at the beginning, and then get a leash from either your mid player or your top player, but it has to be a leasher who can hit from a distance, because the jungle will no longer just auto-focus whoever's attacking it. It'll look for whoever's closest, and you don't want your mid or your top laner taking damage unnecessarily. You take the damage. You have a W, you have a shield from your W, and that'll help you. But they're just there to help you kill it more quickly so you can get out. Now, back to Season 2. First, I'll go over some of the advantages of jungling Nautilus. Obviously, with any tanky CC jungle like Nautilus or Mumu, you want to be able to hit a skill shot, which is your Q, and slow them down. Use your ult to stop them. You'll want anything you can possibly have to slow them down. You're not there necessarily to get the kill, although towards the end of the game, Nautilus can just do crazy amounts of damage when combining his W, E, Q, and ult all in the same, all in a good sequence. But the main purpose of Nautilus is to slow the other opponents down. With that said, that makes it hard to kill monsters in the jungle quickly, which is why you need a leash to start. However, in my opinion, the advantage of being able to take a lot of damage from the jungle and slow your opponents and take a lot of damage from them to get kills is just significantly more beneficial than being unable to do mass damage at low levels is harmful. Now then, for Nautilus's mastery page, I recommend you just pause the video and go copy down the one that I have on the screen right now. You can change up a few things here and there, but try to keep the basic design the same. For his runes, however, I highly recommend 3 of these. I highly recommend the Quintessence of Swiftness, so you can get from one part of the jungle to the next more quickly, chase down enemies, and escape enemies without having to buy boots at the beginning of the game. Next, I recommend the Greater Seal of Resilience, just flat armor, no level gain, just flat, so you start off with good resistance in the jungle. Same reasoning for the Greater Glyph of Warding, but for preventing ability power. And then last, I recommend the Greater Mark of Insight. However, you can change this up and do whatever you want in the marks category, really. I just recommend those so you can get more kills more quickly, but not necessary. Now for Nautilus's abilities. First of all, his Q is Dredgeline. I recommend getting this at level 4. It causes him to shoot out his anchor, and if he hits land or terrain, he'll pull himself towards it. If he hits an enemy, he'll pull himself towards that, damage the enemy, and pull the enemy slightly towards him. His next ability is his W Titan's Wrath. It's a shield, and it's by far his most useful. The more health you have on Nautilus, the longer the shield will last, the more health it'll give you. And it also gives a passive damage effect by burning enemies around him somewhat. The next ability is Riptide, his E. This causes Nautilus to slam the ground and shoot up spikes of water, which do a good amount of damage in team fights, as well as adding more crowd control, slowing the enemy if he tries to escape. Nautilus's R, his ultimate, is Depth Charge, and this fires a Riptide effect at an enemy and knocks him into the air. And if it hits anyone else along the way, it also stuns them. And all of these moves combined with his passive Staggering Blow, which causes enemies to be stunned upon being hit by Nautilus, are just ridiculous amounts of CC, and typically the combination is you hit them with an ultimate or a Q, hit your W, hit your E, hit them with a passive blow, and then if your teammate's there with you, you've caused enough damage to kill them already. If not, just keep following him, use your Q as necessary, and you can easily pick up. So this next clip is just a jungle Nautilus route without a leash, and again, this will only work in Season 2 because the jungle is easier to kill. Your first item is going to be Chain Vest and 5 health potions, so you can more easily sustain yourself in the jungle. And your route is going to be Wolves, then Blue, then Race, then Wolves, then Red, then Race one more time. And by then you'll be level 4. The tip with Nautilus, the first thing you unlock without a leash is your E. Your next thing is your W, then you get your W again, and then at level 4, you get your Q. So, one more time. This is only for Season 2. Season 3, your build item should be the new jungling item and 5 health potions. You should get your W first. then get your E, then get your W again, and then get your Q. Okay? If that doesn't make sense, leave a comment. I'll explain it to you again, or just rewatch the video. I'm pretty sure I spoke English. I'm not going to get into too much depth about my item build. You can check that out in the description. Just know that Heart of Gold is very useful, Philosopher Stone is very useful, Rylai's Scepter is very useful, Rod of Ages is very useful for Jungle Nautilus. There are a lot of really good items. Make sure you get a lot of health. There's really no attack damage involved with Nautilus. So if you want a list of items that I would recommend, check the description. Boots, I would get Boots of Swiftness, just the level 1 movement boots, pretty early on after a Philosopher Stone. And then I would get my Heart of Gold, and then I would get boots, movement speed 5 boots, the passive movement speed 5, just so you can get around the jungle because Nautilus is a slow character. Check the description for the item build again, and it will also have the order in which I would upgrade my stats, both with a leash and without, being for Season 3 and without being for Season 2.